Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host, the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back in the yard streams for another Raw Rewind part of Pitts and Sarah's wrestling show where we take no nights off. And you can't have Pitts and Sarah's wrestling show without the best of the West. You can't forget about Sarah Marshall. What's poppin', girl?
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hello.
What's up,
to
Dave?
the people. Hello.
Hog.
Hello.
POG. Diggy.
Hello.
Raw was a
Yes,
great show.
I am here. Okay.
Raw
You
was a-
know,
was a
this
good
is this is too much, Remy. This
And
is
here is Remy needs Remy's like Vicky Guerrero. Like, excuse me.
excuse me.
Dude, that was a purr.
Excuse me.
She did a little meow.
I know.
She's trying to speak to the masses, trying to speak to the peeps.
Because she got mad at me. She
You're
was like,
hogging my spotlight.
bitch. That's what she said.
Bitch, get out my spotlight.
Oh my god, she's broke. Whatever. It's gonna be that type of show. I
It's
think.
just gonna be that type of show, just a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the trend for today. How I'm feeling outside of the wrestling world. Bunch of nonsense happening in Foxborough. We have one quarterback and two running backs. I didn't know that we went full fantasy football. It just in Bill we trust, my blind love, but and before I go, I know we're gonna replace. There's gonna be a QB2 by week 1. Point is, who the hell is going to be that guy? That's where my mind's like, what? Like, I get releasing Trace McSorley, not a fucking chance. Bailey Zappi, okay, fine. I see where you're going, and then you release Malik or waive Malik. You better hope and pray he doesn't get picked up. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he will. He went undrafted. So
True, but you never know.
But who knows? I don't know.
And who knows? But it's time for wrestling talk because here's the thing, Sarah. I totally kind of forgot that Payback was this week. I thought it was next week, to be quite honest with you. It's been a crazy week. All right. First off, I also
Tuesday.
It's what I mean. It's been a crazy couple, like a week in my time. I don't know. Point is, I didn't realize it. I got so caught up with All In on Sunday. Oh my God, Sarah. So I know we're WWE predominant here, but goddamn, that was one of the best wrestling shows I've ever watched. It was just, go watch it. Everyone peeps wise, if you want to know how I'm feeling, go watch. It was incredible. Main event was incredible. But then we get a WWE pay-per-view, which will be incredible, but for completely different reasons. I have a feeling, which I think is a good way to segue into our announcement that predictions.
Yes.
Tomorrow. Okay, it's not Thursday this week. Our Thursday show we're doing tomorrow. It's going to be our predictions for Payback. Doing it so we can get the clips up in the archives. All right. And then you can go check them out. Sarah Marshall, XO on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. And blast those out. Get our predictions up. So then no SmackDown breakdown on Saturday because of pretty obvious reasons, Sarah. So we got a big week of wrestling. Big week in WWE. We love to hear it. But yeah, I've been talking for a long time here. Just royal rambling on. So how about you just kick us off right now with what kicked off Raw?
All right. Well, we have Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest. And I have to say, when I heard Sami's music hit, I was like, this is deja vu. Are we really having Sami start off? I really thought it was going to be another like talking segment to set up the main event. So I was very happy that was not what it was, because that's what I thought immediately. And then you hear the ding, ding, ding. I was like, wow, okay. I thought that was
Thank God.
nice, just jumping straight into it. So I was like, okay. So, I mean, this was a good match. It was a great way, I felt like, to kick off Raw. It was different because they haven't started off with like straight into a match for it feels like a long time.
No, it
And
really has.
I do like that Damian is getting these like really good opponents, and he just keeps having banger after banger after banger. Like,
He's being booked well.
yes.
You know, that's he's being portrayed as a strong Money in the Bank candidate or holder, whatever.
Mm.
Sometimes when that that guy in his position gets put in that light, aka Austin Theory, look how that went.
Yeah.
And especially with how the Judgment Day is going, you don't know. It's really good how they're booking him and making Judgment Day look right now.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the match. I felt like Sammy was doing some crazy stuff. He was just like, I don't even know how many suicide dives he had. But I was like, you're not 20 something years old anymore, sir. What are we doing? But
Brought back El Generico a little bit.
I was impressed. So as the match goes on, we see JD McDonough come out, and it was like, oh, okay. So he saw, there was a moment where it really looked like Sammy was about to win. So JD decides that he was going to take matters into his own hands, and he tripped up Mr. Sami Zayn, which then led to Damian taking advantage of the distraction to win the match. So that was exciting. I was like, oh, okay, so we let Damian win, but not Finn. Okay. And afterwards, JD gets in the ring and he's trying to like celebrate with Damian. So he raises his arm and Damian is pissed off. Immediately shoves him and tells him to stay out of my business. And I was like, jeez. And then Kevin and Sammy attack him, and Damian just stands there and watches and then walks away. And I was like, I liked it, but I hated it. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he still doesn't like JD. But then I was like, hey, he just, helped you win that match, bro. What are you doing?
I like it because of a little theory I've thought up in my head that this is all a ruse. Like, there's just all a ruse so that KO and Sammy can think that the Judgment Day is having some inner turmoil. And then out of nowhere, JD McDonough helps them out in their match at Payback, and Judgment Day walks out with all the...
We haven't talked about it yet. I don't want you
but
to...
that's... Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but... I see the big picture. Yeah. And the big picture looks pretty damn good from my point of view.
Yeah. Well, I like your thinking because I hadn't thought about it that way. So I appreciate that. So we do see Finn, because you alluded to it. Finn and Damian are arguing again backstage. Finn is just pissed off about what Damian did to his little brother, JD McDonough. And I was like, you stand up for him, Finn. You stand up for your boy, okay? These Irish people stick together, okay? Yeah. So Finn says, hey, we need to focus and get on the same page. And Damian's like, yeah, but I don't want to be worrying about people that don't matter to me. And JD is someone that I just don't give a fuck about. And Finn was like, he just helped you beat Sammy. You would have lost without him, basically. And then you just stood there and watched my mans get attacked. And Damian's like, I literally don't even care. And I only care about Judgment Day because they're my family. At least that's what we're supposed to be. So then Rhea steps in and just like, you know what? The Judgment Day is basically just me and Dom Dom. And you guys need to stop fighting because you have a tag match on Saturday, which you alluded to. And if you guys do not leave Payback with the tag team titles, there are going to be changes made, and it's going to be up to me. So that scared me a little bit, but I kind of feel this is a thing though, right? Because like I like your theory of, okay, this is all just a ruse, and it's supposed to kind of like be tripping up the Kevin Owens and Sammy into thinking like, oh, we're just going to be able to easily win this basically because they're not on the same page, they're fighting, whatever. And I feel like this has to be the time that they win the tag team titles, because it feels like such a funny, interesting twist to their story because they have been feuding so much. And then I don't know, sometimes I think it's just enjoyable to watch a tag team like hate each other, but they're tag team champions. So it's
it's
like
awesome.
And we haven't seen that in quite a while. I don't even know the last time we could say that we had a tag team like that.
The easy one is Hell No. That's the first one that
Yeah,
pops
but that
up.
was like 10 years ago. So that's what I mean. Like, it's been.
No, there was one kind of recent. Didn't Seth and KO win the titles, or am I just?
I honestly, I don't know.
Let us know in the comments, because I actually would like to see some of these.
So I think that would be great. My issue is, do you really think after all that Kevin Owens and Sami had to go through to take the titles off of Jimmy and Jay at WrestleMania, that they would just have them drop the titles to the Judgment Day at Payback?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. They're the stronger faction. It's KO and Sami don't need the titles. It's all about having that's we'll say that symbolic stature over the locker room. And when you have the titles, especially in a group like all the titles, including the Money in the Bank, you just have that little bit more swagger that makes you feel a lot more important. That's kind of what they're portraying with the Judgment Day. With this case, that if you put all the titles on them, you have Dom doing his little thing in NXT, Mommy's running the women's division, and then you have Senior Money in the Bank, who could be a double champ anytime he wants, but he's okay with just being the tag champ with his buddy Finn. Or he might get sick of it, whatever, doesn't want it, and only did it so that JD and Finn could be the champs, and he could be just Mr. Money in the Bank and then cash in. Like, the point of my rambling is that by putting the titles on them, it gives them a lot more to do with Judgment Day to keep them on top, rather than just keeping KO and Sami with the titles so that you can potentially get a fantasy booking of DIY versus pretty much Ring of Honor boys.
Well, and I think that we've talked about it since they won the titles, that it's been a very like unexciting title reign. Like
no,
it hasn't been, and it's not necessarily their fault, obviously, but like I feel like the value of the tag titles isn't nearly what it was at WrestleMania, where it was such this monumental moment that they finally took down the Bloodline and they won the tag titles from the longest reigning tag team champions ever. But since then, they don't feel like that big anymore. So I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to take the titles off. And like you said, I think that there's more for them to do with Judgment Day and the tag titles than there is with KO and Sami, because then you also look at what they're doing in the tag division in general right now. Okay, they have the New Day baby faces. Then there's Riddle and Drew McIntyre right now, baby faces.
Kind of back.
Yeah, so it's like, if they're supposed to be two of the number one contenders, kind of, other than the Viking Raiders, I mean, it's not impossible to have them go against KO and Sami, but it's not ideal from a business standpoint, because obviously, you don't want them you don't want to split the audience, but
no, I couldn't agree more.
I do think that would be amazing. I would be very excited. I'm trying just not to.
And then you can have the Judgment Day run through the tag division to legitimate. I don't know. You can go so many.
Well, and that's what we even talked about that. We were saying that was the easiest way to get them all to have a championship.
I think we did have a video about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like they should be. I mean, we didn't consider at that time Dominic, because we were including.
Oh, we were giving him the.
We were giving him a title because we didn't consider NXT.
I mean, I don't even think. Yeah, we should have walked a little bit farther outside the box.
Well, we said that though. We were talking about like if he were to get a title, it would have to be like a tag team championship, or he would have to do something in NXT. We didn't say North American, but I think that we were saying it would have to be NXT, because I don't think he could just be handed like.
We're in the ballpark. If you're playing darts, we didn't hit bullseye, but we're in that red area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Great.
So, let's get to some comments
Yeah,
because
there's
I
a
saw.
lot of freaking comments here.
I know. So, do you want me to do it or are you gonna do it?
Well, I was gonna do it. I'm just a little
Oh, okay.
parched. I don't know who McDonald's is. McDonald's is just a
I'm
filler.
assuming he means McDonough.
Oh, autocorrect's real tough. Sorry about that.
That's what I'm guessing.
I don't think he's a filler. I think like he's so you'd be such a perfect addition to Judgment Day, and I don't know. It's just a faction doesn't always need to be in tag team matches or to be doing well as a group necessarily. With titles and all that shit. It's all about elevating each other. That's the whole point.
And I would hate for them to tease McDonough going into Judgment Day and then they don't do it.
Said as the leader. Oh, but no. See, here's the thing. Oh, but what if he portrays? But who's the leader?
Well, that's the
I just
thing
like
is you
5
have to
thoughts.
think, is it Damien or is it Finn? They both want to be the leader.
But Finn was initiated in as the leader, and now Damien's taken over.
But if you think about it, maybe Damien is the leader. Maybe it was his decision to kick Edge out. So it's like technically he's like been the mastermind behind it. You know what I mean?
And he's the one that sang. And Payback just got a lot more enticing.
I think it's Rhea anyway, but
well, yeah, mommy, it's Monday Night Mommy. Okay.
Yes, my queen.
God, Rhea Ripley is so goddamn beautiful. I think KO and Sammy got the titles when the division needed to be refreshed. Yeah, basically it's a nice reset. How do you reset a division? Put it on a wrestler who's legitimately over with the fans to the point where if they're champion, they're not gonna boo or cheer worse or louder. They're gonna be content, and then you build up more challengers to build up the division. I like that.
Yeah, I don't think, like you said, they don't need the titles to be cheered for. It's not like they're not having an exciting reign anyway. So it wouldn't be heartbreaking to see them lose.
Yeah. And they ain't breaking up Judgment Day anytime soon.
I was very happy to see that news as well, that rumor.
Yeah,
because
they're not.
Yeah, it was looking a little scary. So
you can't break up the hottest fat. Like you don't do shit for a cheap pop anymore. The wrestling community is a lot more intelligent than they were at least 5 years ago, honestly, at this point. All right, what's the next topic at hand?
The Miz impersonates LA Knight. So after taking like the 800th commercial break, because that was something I was so annoyed
So many
with.
goddamn commercial breaks.
I know. I was just like, oh my God. So LA Knight's music hits, and even Wade Barrett got excited thinking it was LA Knight. And of course, it took a second for most people to realize, no, that is not LA Knight. That is faux LA Knight. It's not as fun. Because when it was Sin Cara, and then they had it be what was his name?
No.
His name before Unico. Yeah, and then when Sin
Cara afterwards Unico.
It was Unico who became Sin Cara, and I called him Faux Cara. That's what we called him. Because
I love Unico. He came on the fucking bike.
Yeah, I love that. Man. But then he became Sin Cara. Anyway, so the Miz gets in the ring and just gets on the mic and is trying to impersonate LA Knight, which I feel like he didn't do like a bad job, but he was going so overboard with trying to sound like Stone Cold Steve Austin that it was just like, okay.
Well, that was the point.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, okay,
so he just kept saying yeah a lot, and then he was lowering his voice, and then he kept going, yeah, I mean, what? I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
what?
I picked up on that.
And I was like, okay,
I
Miz.
thought this was so good. I thought this was so well done by the Miz to pretty much personify every slight at LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect way to build up their feud. And the Stone Cold sounding yes, although I thought he was, if I had to rate his impression of LA Knight, I'd give it like an 8.5. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly entertained by it.
So he did try to give out some free T-shirts, and he just threw them on the ground.
And he threw it on the ground.
And then he switched back to The Miz. So he was continuing to say how the crowd was pathetic and that they'll cheer for anybody that's generic, blah, blah, blah. And he just was hyping up his match with LA Knight at Payback. But this made me question, do you think that either one, LA Knight should have been on Raw, or do you think that The Miz needs to be on SmackDown? Because they've literally only been face to face twice since like throughout this feud. Do you think that they need to be face to face again on SmackDown?
Yes, you need to have Miz show up on SmackDown and not shock. Surprise attack LA Knight. So then when it builds up the feud, it gets Miz on SmackDown too. People are gonna watch.
Mm-hmm.
And also you just need to make SmackDown a bigger show. That's why you have LA Knight on there. That's why you have the Bloodline on there still, and so like basically it's a way to get it bigger. I don't think LA Knight should have been on Raw. I don't. I think this is more of a feud for both of them to build each other up. Obviously, Miz giving him the rub and putting him over essentially as all right. He's the next guy. Like he's everything he says he is, and a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also on the flip side, it's a great way to refresh the Miz because the Miz has just been doing these bullshit segments and mini feuds that are just essentially the comedic relief portion of the show. This is a legit feud that kind of gets people remembering how good the Miz actually is. I mean, yeah, POG says right here, Miz best promo by far so far. I think it's his best promo in at least a year or so. It's so raw, it's passionate, something that we haven't really seen out of the Miz, which is why he is a two-time Grand Slam champion. Um, I feel like this is going to be a good feud, or it has been a good feud for both them to be on the bigger stage of their shows moving forward.
Yeah, I don't think that LA Knight needs to be on Raw. I do think Miz should be on SmackDown and do something, just so it's like they are face to face. But unlike other stories, like Cody and Roman, they only came face to face like twice before Mania, which I took issue with. Or wasn't it Cody and someone else? I think I forget. Cody and Brock weren't face to face that much either.
You're big face to face girl.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just like, why are you feuding then? You know what I mean? But I think in this instance, they've done a great job to make people excited about it, even though they haven't been face to face. Like even though they haven't brawled or got interfered in each other's matches. Like I think that they're both entertaining enough that, I think this is one of the matches that people are the most excited about on the show.
Hands down.
And that says a lot about what they did, because they haven't had weekly interactions, and a lot of the time that's what you get excited about because you are seeing it every single week.
Exactly.
So I think they did a good job. But yeah, I hope that we see Miz on SmackDown, even if it is just like you said, to just interfere in the match or something really quick, because I think that would be ideal.
Oh, for sure.
Then we have Drew McIntyre. He's still a little bit iffy about his partnership with Matt Riddle, which I don't blame him.
I want McIntyre
to kill him.
Whoa, let's not go that far. I was wrong K word. I want him to kick him in the face, hit him with a Claymore kick so hard in the face. Just I want heel McIntyre. I want it.
I think, yeah. So Riddle first, he presents Drew with a photoshopped image of Drew in bro trunks. and says
He
like, "Oh,
did
well, if
look
we're going to be
good.
a tag team, then we need to have matching gear." And you can tell that McIntyre is just like so like disgusted. I'm like, "Same. That's disgusting." And then he's like, "Or how about we have like matching kilts instead?" And I was like, "That's even more gross."
Imagine a neon green and purple kilt. Oh
No.
my god, it's like Barney pooped
No. And so
on a
Drew is
blanket.
still obviously not into it, but Riddle convinces him that they should be ringside for the Viking Raiders and the New Day match because they'll get a good look at their competition and blah blah blah. And he promises him haggis, and I'm like, that's disgusting too. And that's my home people, but ew, haggis is nasty. So they do. If you don't know what
What the
haggis
hell is?
is,
I was about to say, what the hell's haggis?
look at it. Look it up. It's like sheep organs and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well. Okay.
Anyway, so
I
they
have.
go to the ring, which I always think is funny. Like the New Day come out first, and then they have Riddle and McIntyre come out, and I'm like, wait, like why are they coming out before their opponents? I'm very confused, but I guess it is what it is. This was a long match. I noticed.
I think got 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah, and
That's
it was
incredible. Which
entertaining though, because the New Day are great together. The Viking Raiders are great together. It was inside the ring, outside the ring, a lot of physicality. Drew and Riddle make their presence known as Drew gets pissed at one point and throws a chair,
that
and it
was
hits
insanity.
Xavier Woods.
I love when they throw that chair. It's
Um,
so funny.
yeah, so that because of that, the Viking Raiders were able to take advantage and they got the win.
And tag
So
team wrestling is so fucking back.
who
This
said it was
match,
gone? Who said it was gone though?
hear me. It was. What do you mean? Who said it was gone? The entire division was in shambles.
Well,
It's
yes.
so back. We have the
Yeah.
New Day, baby faces, as you already alluded to. We got the Viking Raiders, who I don't know if you remember this, but I don't think it was more than like 3-4 months ago. We were saying how just who the hell cares about the Viking Raiders? I think we have like clips, like who
Multiple.
cares?
Multiple because it was me. Well, and I still don't care.
No,
about
I
them.
was with you. I agreed with you.
I still don't. I'm saying I still don't really care about them. I always
Oh,
said they
I'm
were
all right.
entertaining in the ring, but I don't care about them.
I think they're a fantastic tag team. It's a fantastic tag team right now.
Alrighty.
And I just then you have like McIntyre and Riddle kind of getting in the mix, which they're obviously you're gonna have a bedfellow tag team in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're your bedfellows right now that are struggling to figure it out, sure. And then New Day, like, oh, the dynamic's great. It's setting up for when Judgment Day win, and then the people are gonna go after. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, so back, Sarah.
So it's exciting. Yeah, I'm excited because I do think that it's exactly why I think that they need to change. The titles need to change hands.
You need to.
So Drew does agree to have a tag match with Riddle next week.
You're
So
just
we see them
terrible.
backstage and he tries to apologize to Xavier for smacking him with a chair. Kofi comes out of the trainer's room and is like, "Oh, it's not looking good, but he's going to be okay." So like, okay. And he says that he's going to be fine and Drew is just like, "I'm so sorry. Like I wasn't trying to do that on purpose." And I was like, yeah, you were. And then he says basically he's more determined now to take down the Viking Raiders. So he signs off on teaming with Riddle, and Riddle's all like, "Oh my god, he said we. That means me and him. Oh my god." And then he like runs away after Drew McIntyre, and I was like, "Oh, geez. I can't wait for this to be over."
I just don't care about Riddle in a tag team anymore.
I don't care about Riddle at all.
Well, yeah. See, you're going a little bit more than I, but I don't want to see Riddle in a tag team anymore. I don't, especially if you're going to team with Drew McIntyre, who should be honestly he should be feuding with Seth or
Again? Oh, McIntyre? Oh, okay, sorry. I was thinking Riddle.
No. Yeah, Drew.
Yeah.
Like he should be in the title picture. Or if we do see another champion, he should be in the title picture against them. Like he should not be tagging with Matt fucking Riddle.
I think my issue with Riddle is like it seems like he's destined to just be a tag team guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a solo guy, or if he is, he's just going to be like a Zack Ryder type of dude who's just in the mid card. I'm not saying he's even equal to Zack Ryder.
No. I know what you mean, but just like that's
He's
the
just gonna
worst place to be.
he's just gonna be there.
He's the that's the worst place to be.
I just think that he needs to have a consistent partner. That's when I think that people would care more. If like they liked him when he was with RK Bro, I think that they need to have him in something like that where he's not changing tag partners every single week. Then I think it would be like, okay, whatever.
Fits.
You know. Do we have any comments before I move on?
Any ones that I would like to. I mean, Drew should be in main event scene and Payback. Yeah, like that's where he should be. Honestly.
I think that's where he's working his way towards. I think that's why he's going to turn heel. Because I think he's going to want to be, he's going to be like, I'm tired of this. What am I doing? Blah, 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 blah.
I just picture Drew cutting Riddle's head off with a claymore and holding it up in the middle of the ring.
Like pure Scottish. He just like goes Braveheart and just chops his head off, disembowels him, and then is like, oh!
You fight for our lives!
Puts his head on a stake and just walks around.
That's so medieval.
That's what I'm saying, Braveheart.
Get medieval on his ass.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe he will do that.
We are just really roasting Riddle right now. Wow. Well, yeah.
He deserves it.
This is not deserved, though. The Viking Raiders are fantastic.
They're actually. Why are you saying it like that?
It just go with it.
Okay.
Go, you live the gimmick, Sarah.
The Viking Raiders, I don't like their gimmick. I think it's lame, and I don't really understand the point of it. But they're actually good in the ring. So I mean, they move around like they're not 300-pound monsters. I mean, like the fact that they're going on the top rope and doing like flips and shit. I'm like, what?
Can you do a moonsault?
No.
Exactly. No, I'm to this part to Pog.
Well, so that's why I'm saying like I don't think that they're jobbers, but I do wonder what they're trying to do. Like if they're just going to be a staple in the tag division, but never really become champion. I mean, I feel like at this point they're not.
Give them one reign.
They're not cared enough about to make them tag champions right at this second.
Get rid of Sarah Logan.
I don't know. She's a prop.
I'm so sick of Valhalla.
I loved Wade being like, she's wearing antlers. And then he was like, she's got an animal skull on her head. That's why she has the horns. And he was like, whatever. And I was like, okay. So weird. Also, Wade Barrett at the end of the LA Knight segment with Miz, and he has the LA Knight glasses on.
Oh, that was awesome.
I was like, he was the first LA Knight fan, guys. He's
really
showing you again right now.
That was so funny. Yeah, you next.
Okay. So we have Imperium. They come out together looking beautiful. And Gunther gets on the announcer's table again, which I'm just obsessed with.
I think that's just his podium. I think we should call it his podium.
It's funny because it's like it's lower than the ring. So it's like if you really want to be seen, you might as well stand in the middle of the ring. But
he's making a statement. Okay.
Look at the name of the banner. I know.
Oh, look at me just playing with words.
Yeah. So he gets on the announcer's desk and he talks about how Gable was the first man to beat him in over 500 days. But, even though it is an achievement, technically, he still hasn't accomplished anything because it was a count out in a championship match and he is a loser.
In that tone.
Basically. Then he speaks some German, I think. German, Austrian. Something. And he says in English, Gable has his attention now. He has his focus. And he will face off against Gable for the Intercontinental Championship next week on Raw. And Gunther does become the longest reigning IC champ next Friday. So I would say, is it a good idea for Gunther versus Chad Gable to happen on Raw as opposed to happen on Payback? Because if you ask my opinion, the Payback card is like good but not great. And if we're really trying to say about what match means more, I would say that this match means a hell of a lot more than the US title match. So you could easily take off Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory and put Gable versus Gunther on Payback.
I agree from a fan standpoint with you, 1,000% agree. But when you look at it from a business standpoint, the only logical reason I can think of is you need to make Raw. You need to make people want to tune into Raw after Payback, and or even not even after Payback, just in general. And putting matches like this on Raw, a championship caliber match with a little bit of a deep feud. It has been a long feud, but it's been, a juicy one. And because of that, it will bring the fan in to watch that episode of Raw, where they're going to watch Payback anyways. You already have all those good matches, because there are a good handful that are make you want to watch Payback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need a handful of good matches too, or at least good segments, to make someone want to tune into Raw. It has nothing to do with Gunther or Gable's status or how well they're received backstage. It's really just all about money. It's all about money.
I think the other thing is having it on Raw makes it feel like there's a bigger opportunity or a bigger chance that he'll lose in some of those fans' minds that really thinks that Gunther is possibly going to lose, even though it's only like a couple days before. Or I think if they have it on Raw, it seems closer to when he would break the record than if it was nearly a week before.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if they screw Gunther and literally take the title off him 3 days before?
Oh my Lord. That would be the ultimate bag fumble. The ultimate fumbling at the one.
That would be I would say the biggest mistake of Triple H's tenure so far.
I think that'd be the biggest mistake in the past 20 years.
That's just
you gotta make him.
I know.
Yeah,
and I mean, they've been talking about it for so long. You can't. But that's the thing is even though I think that they're not going to do that, I think that they're gonna let Gunther get it. I'm still gonna watch the match and be like, oh my god, he's gonna lose. I'm gonna get so nervous about it.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of why they want it to happen on Raw. And as Richard said, the US title has missed all of the PLE since Backlash. So if the Intercontinental misses it this month, then it is what it is. Which is fine.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
so we do get Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser. I have to tell you guys, I am obsessed with Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, I say that every week, but I'm just obsessed with Imperium individually and collectively. Literally. And I'm very mad about my Imperium shirt having a ripped seam in the sleeve. I'm very upset.
Are you a sewer?
No, I'm gonna see if my mom will do it. Thank God it's on the seam. But I'm I'm still irritated because I'm
absolutely.
I was I haven't even worn it that much, but whatever. Anyway, this was a great match. Top notch. Exactly why they are pushing Ludwig Kaiser. Hello. He's amazing. I love everything about him. I'm obsessed. And his little girly girl was in the arena watching
Tiff?
Yeah, Tiffany's there and she's like, no one is gonna take this women's title off of me. Because that's how she talks.
She would have bullied the shit out of me in school.
She would have bullied me too.
And I would have been
you're dumb. That's how she sounds.
Oh, but anyway, she would have bullied me so bad. But continue.
And you would have loved every second of it.
Absolutely would have.
Yeah. So the match ends in a DQ because Vinci gets
finally doing something.
But it didn't last very long. It looked like Gable was about to win, so he gets in the ring and he's like, no, you are not going to do this to my man. And then Otis gets in the ring and suplexes him and then hits him with a splash and does some weird dance move thing as he's ripping off his shirt. And I'm just like, why are we making Vinci look like such a weak piece of shit? I'm just so confused. I'm so over it. I am just frustrated about it because I was like, okay. Also, because we were talking about, Kaiser was saying that he was going to help Gunther, figure out what to do about losing to Gable. And then he was like, well, what are you going to do to Vinci? And now that we're having Gunther face off with Gable against, for the title next week, there's no time for Vinci to do anything. So I'm like, okay. So they're literally having him do nothing still. I just don't understand. So Gunther does come out and they all attack Gable and then they stand over him afterwards. And I was like, yes, boys. My problem is, of course, I just still don't really understand what they're doing with Vinci. But one part I am excited about is the India Super Show thingamajiggy. It's going to be Seth Rollins and John Cena versus Imperium. So
that's gonna be very. I heard that's, although this is kind of bad news. Kind of heard that it's not gonna be it's not gonna be televised.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
It's a live show.
Yeah.
You'll see clips. We'll see clips.
Yeah, I was just bummed. I'm excited though that it's gonna be Kaiser and Vinci, but I'm still just like frustrated because they're gonna lose. So
well, nobody beats Super Cena.
I know. So it's like I loved you, John Cena,
and Seth. It's Seth Rollins and
mm-hmm.
Yeah, no way you beat Super Seth they're gonna want Super Cena.
They're gonna send the fans home happy. Speaking of Cena, he's gonna be at my SmackDown show, and I'm not gonna be there.
You gotta find tickets.
I'm not gonna sit up in the boonies to see John Cena. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Well, like how bad do you want it? All right. I sat in the boonies.
I want front row if I'm there. Sorry.
I sat with Sore boonies.
Well, I'm trying to save. I'm trying to save money for Mania.
That's true. That's true.
So, I thought what Richard said was funny. Tiffany Stratton was on Raw, so it's probably why Kaiser didn't hit on Maxine. It's possible, but if she's that weak and insecure, girl.
No, that's not.
It's not that serious, girl. You're going home with him. So
this is a good question,
and Maxine is also in a relationship. So
yeah, college football player, Canadian football player,
I have
whatever.
No idea.
I forgot. I looked them up. Do you think Maxine Dupree is going to betray the Alpha?
I told you that I would love to see her join Imperium and just be like the arm candy. I would love it, especially now if Tiffany is the reason why he didn't hit on her, girl. I would love it even more then because I'm a mean lady.
Mean girl.
I'm just a mean girl. But I think I think if anything we could see that happen eventually, but I don't know that people are cheering for the Alpha Academy, but I feel like they're not as invested in it as they were like a month ago, or even a month and a half ago. It's like they're excited about Chad Gable, but as a group in its entirety, I don't think they lost that a little bit. But I think that's because they've been doing solo stuff. Like Gable's been on the IC title. Yeah. So, but yeah. We do have tickets to WrestleMania. I just mean I have to say for hotel, plane ride, food.
Oh, fun. It's gonna be I got my Thor hammer full of change that I am saving up. So if you we need money for this event because I am going balls to the fucking wall.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to spend way more than you because I have to pay for a hotel and plane ticket.
Well, Amtrak's pretty fun. Well, you're in the West Coast.
Okay, I'm like $500-$600 for a plane ticket.
Amtrak's pretty fucking expensive. Not that crazy, but separate from your rant there.
Yeah.
Yes. Next, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins addresses Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know if you noticed this. Did you notice anything about his championship title belt?
I did on Twitter.
So did I. I didn't notice it on Raw, but if you guys didn't see, you should look at it on Twitter. On one side plate of the World Heavyweight title, Seth had one of Bray's side plates, which I would love for that to be a thing beyond Raw. You know what I mean? Like, I would love for them to wear the armbands longer than just Raw.
I think they will. I think they will. It's going to be for a little bit. It's going to be for a little bit.
I love that he did that. I thought that was really cute. He also says, "Yowie wowie." as he welcomes the crowd to Monday Night Rollins.
Those were my favorite lines.
And he basically is just in the ring to call out Nakamura, which he said he was going to do that last week because they, again, speaking of people who haven't been face-to-face much, they haven't been face-to-face much, which I'm fine with it because their story's been compelling enough that I'm like, I don't really care. So he calls out Nakamura. Nakamura doesn't come out, but then they play another video package that is basically the same, similar to what they showed us last week.
Very dark.
I know. I'm so obsessed.
Awesome.
So he says he wants to dismantle Rollins, not just as a champion, but as a man. And that he wants to make sure that he is the reason Becky has to help him out of bed. And that he is the reason that Seth cannot walk his daughter down the aisle on her wedding day. And I was like, damn, we're going in. You know, I was like, Nakamura is just like going straight for the neck. He's like,
oh, absolutely.
So he says he wants to break Seth and put him out of his misery. But Seth is like, you know what? I'm just mad that you're not here. Why did they show us another video package? I told you I was going to be here. I called you out. I said I was going to be here. You're not here. He says he would have done anything for Nakamura if you asked him a month ago, even given him the shirt off of his hurting back. But Nakamura has changed, blah, blah, blah. And then Shinsuke comes out of nowhere, chokes Seth with a big smile on his face. And then he kicks him in the back of the head and does a bow. And I was like, this is everything. This is absolutely everything. I am obsessed with this Shinsuke Nakamura.
Heel Nakamura is so good. That's where he made his money in Japan, being a heel. He was one of the most sadistic, evil heels. Just hard hitting, physical. That's strong style, baby. Oh, I love that we're incorporating it.
This is what we said, though, or what I've said a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it as long as Shinsuke keeps doing this, this is how he should have been booked the first time that they try to make him into a heel. It's exactly what I've been saying for years about what they needed to do with Finn Balor. And, like, look at what Finn's doing now. Like, some of the best work of his entire WWE career, and all it took was for him to be turned into a heel. Like, I don't understand the mindset of the creative team sometimes, how they're so dead set on keeping people a certain way or, like, not exploring a certain thing. Because it's like, even with Bayley, they wanted to keep Bayley as the, clean fan, like a wrestler for the fans, for the kids with the blow up things and whatever. And then it was like, okay, that was great, but like, that's not gonna work. Like, even the kids didn't care after a long time because it's like, it's not interesting anymore. And so it took them a while, but they finally changed her to a bad guy, and look at, she's been thriving. Like, it's like, I don't understand why with certain people they wait way too long in order to do this. But I mean, like I said, look at Nakamura. This is the best stuff he's done, like, in WWE, basically.
Yes, this is easily up there.
And I'm so excited about this match. But do you think that Shinsuke actually has a chance to win, especially with how their interaction ended? Because usually, if you're the guy that's down and out, you're not losing.
I want to say my prediction for tomorrow, but
okay,
because
right. I'm not saying prediction, but do you think that Shinsuke has a chance? Like, do you think that?
I think he legitimately does. No, I think this is it. Like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I think he has a chance, but we'll have to see.
I don't want to get too into it now, but he's gonna.
But I just was saying a yes or no question. I saw a couple comments, so I want to get in here. Richard says he wants a female Imperium member, but maybe not Maxine. Yeah, no, I agree. I just thought it would be funny just because of, like, if it really was Tiffany. Like, don't flirt with her in front of me, babe. I'd be like, oh my God. But yeah, no, I think they would need to have, like, a stronger girl. I think we talked about that last week. Pog says Superstar Spectacle. That's going to be his first WWE event. That's so awesome. Congratulations. I hope you have a blast.
Oh, they're awesome. Oh, they're so fun.
With
so
Cena?
Happy for you.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. We'll get Richard says, do you believe in the theory that Karrion has changed everyone he has faced, or is that just a coincidence?
What do you mean changed?
I think, like, I'm assuming he means character-wise, like they changed to baby faces. I don't know. I don't
because
know.
they face their fate.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's long-term booking, baby.
Pog says this feels like the best Nakamura looks in years. I agree. Richard says
Yes.
Nakamura has turned into a very compelling heel in just 3 weeks. I
He
agree.
really has.
Uh,
Really has.
Pog says Nakamura talking Japanese hits his character differently. I love it. It's the ultimate heel move. Like, I don't even care that you can't understand me. You understand my tone. You understand what I'm saying because of my face, and you know it sounds mean. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, Richard says that Vince didn't know how to use Nakamura.
Because Vince doesn't know how to use something if he did not think of it or cannot picture it in his mind.
Well, and I told you, like we said, he always had issues with some like the Japanese wrestlers in particular. Like
It's different. It's a
it's
different style in WWE.
it's just weird though. But anyway,
It's a whole
I wanted to talk about Bronson Reed and Tommaso Ciampa. I know it was just like a little blip in the show, but I wanted to talk about it. So
when he
Bronson
was
attacks
running out.
Ciampa.
When
As
he
he's
was
making his
running
entrance.
out, you can see it in the back.
I know.
He's just running out. I was just sitting there like, oh boy.
It's a Bronson
going.
Reed out of nowhere.
It's so
And
funny.
but it's funny because he just like knocked him down as if like he was on the road and he was in the way. Like he like didn't beat him down to the point of not having a match. It was just like, you're in my way. I'm impatient, you know, like he didn't want to wait. So I would say this match was short, but it was actually really good. And Tommaso is strong, dude. How the hell did he pick up Bronson?
I don't know.
I don't
fucking insane. The strength that he has. Like Bronson Reed's another dude who is, I think, 300-pound plus.
Oh
and
yeah.
is
Yeah.
just waltzing around the ring like a cruiserweight. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, we're Bronson Reed fans
Oh,
here.
big stands of Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Limitless guy.
So I enjoyed the match. Like I said, it wasn't that long, which I was a little bit bummed about, but it is what it is, I guess, because it's like not a full-blown story, really. It's like it is, but it's not. But I had a couple things from this. I think Tommaso they need to figure something out with him. He's too good to just be like having the same match every single week and have it be like 5 minutes and that's it. But then I also am like, when is Johnny Gargano coming back?
Yeah, what the hell is going on with Johnny Gargano? I like
so confused.
Where in the world is Johnny Gargano?
Yeah. Well, and I also feel like, you know, what are they doing with Bronson Reed also? It's just like, it's very confusing because when they first brought him back, he was like, you know, he was in the Elimination Chamber. And
yeah, he was.
And it's like, he was up here, then he's down here, then he's like in the middle, then he's back down. Like, I'm just kind of confused about what they're doing. And then it's the same thing with Ciampa. Like, I'm just in Gargano, I'm confused. Like, these are people that left or like were thinking about leaving, and then you bring them back and you basically were promising them the world, and then you haven't done anything, and you have Gargano sitting at home for literal months. I'm very confused about it. But
yeah, I don't get it.
I don't either. But I guess we'll see what happens. And then we had Rhea Ripley. She comes out to the ring with Dirty Dom, and she just gets thrown around a little bit by Raquel Rodriguez, which I was here for because I was like, we need something. We need this. We need this build up because Raquel has done nothing because she's been fake injured.
Yeah, whatever injury she's dealing with.
Yeah. So Rhea's in the ring. She gets on the mic. She's basically just coming out to hype herself up about her match against Raquel at Payback and how she doesn't have anyone real to face. And I was like, preach, queen. We've been saying this since the draft. She says that Raquel is a good opponent, though, although she did have to fake an injury just to get one up on her, which I was like, that is true. She came out with her crutch and then was like, LOL, just
classic move. Classic.
And she says that Raquel is an idiot to think that she can win the title at Payback. And then Raquel comes out and she's like, oh, hell no. And she takes down Rhea. Dom distracts her, so Rhea sets her up for the Riptide. But then Raquel is like, nope, and hits her with the Lariat. And then they just like split up. And then Rhea is just like, you're an idiot. You're stupid. I hate you. And Rhea's like, okay. And they just stare at each other. So
yeah, basically just build up that feud. I love it because it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Like if I was not as intelligent of a wrestling fan as I am, I would legitimately think that Raquel could win. Like if I was in Soar's position, oh, Soar's in the best position because he has that mind. It's like, oh well, they're both bigger girls, stronger girls. Rhea could lose the title here, but like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
But it'll be a banger of a match. That's what I'm excited for.
I just banned Nathaniel.
I wasn't even paying attention to him. So
I think it's just for today, but his comments, he was having a full blown conversation with himself. So I think
that's
it's just
tough.
yeah.
We're the
No,
ones having the conversation.
yeah. I think it's just for today though. I'll have to look at that. Anyway, so let's get to the main event, which was Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark in a Falls Count Anywhere match. My main takeaways. It was a good match. However, I felt like the Falls Count Anywhere part wasn't relevant until like the last 3 minutes of the match, once they finally like took it outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, they just kept pinning each other in the ring. And it felt more of like a no disqualification match than a no or a false count anywhere, because they weren't doing anything. So I was like, okay, this is great. Like, I'm glad that they were using chairs, they were using kendo sticks, they brought out a table. Like, I enjoyed that they were using the weapons and stuff, especially because it's the women. But I was just like, I don't really understand the stipulation if you're not going to do it. But I obviously they did towards the end, and there was a couple spots that I really enjoyed. One being basically a stratisfaction from the timekeepers area through a table. Trish, that was great. And the thing is like, I know that there was the one spot that was bad where she like literally hit Zoe in the face with a steel chair, which I don't think was on accident. Like, I don't think that was planned. I don't think that was planned. I think that was a legitimate accident. Like, I don't think that was meant to happen.
Yeah.
But I give Trish a little bit more credit, like more leniency with things like this, because this is shit she didn't do when she was around and an active wrestler. So all of these stipulations and stuff that the women can do now, those were not things that they were letting the women do. So it's like, if she messes up a little bit here, or maybe that doesn't look great, it's like, okay, well, she's doing all of this for the first time. So like,
she is.
I can't fault her for maybe not looking perfect in a tables match. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't mind her. And anytime you're in those types of matches, you can make it look a little bit more real with it being not as fluid.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna get hit, you don't know how you're gonna react or go down or whatnot, or how you would do a certain move. Like, it just adds a little bit of a realer element to it, which I like. And especially for Trish, like the fact that she is doing it at this stage of her career is just, she just wants to stamp more legitimacy to her Hall of Fame career, which that's all this is really doing with this feud. And it's nice that it's finally coming to a close and we're seeing stuff like this, because you're gonna remember this in the long haul. Like, you're gonna remember this match, a few others, and then the steel cage. Like, I would say I'm more excited for the steel cage match on Saturday now than I was, I would say, a week ago.
Yeah, I know. I think so too. And I think that they did a good job, because obviously throughout this, Trish was involved, and it's like, okay, maybe to some it's annoying, but it made sense because of leading up to the whole point of why they're having a cage match. It's so that this cannot happen. Yeah. So I was fine with her being heavily involved. I mean, she was at first, and then Becky kept hitting her with the kendo stick, and Trish was just taking it. And I was like, girl, you are going to be bruised up.
Oh, yeah.
But then she does come back, obviously, so she gets involved again. And I liked the way that they ended it with fighting around the arena and Becky putting them both through tables. I thought that was a great way to end it, a great way to end Raw in general, especially with a women's main event, which I was so here for.
Yeah.
That was nice. And then I felt for Becky because of her.
It was sad.
I know. Her starting to sob basically.
Oh, that
At
was
the
so.
end
Yeah.
with Bray's armband. But then did you see the video of what she said afterwards?
Yeah, we also like that Tupac. Yeah, so Becky tells a story after Raw goes off the air that in her first tables match when she was defending the SmackDown Women's Championship, she did not know how to set up a table because she had never been in a tables match before. And the only person that really helped her along the way and took them under her wing was Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, and he spent an entire afternoon with her, how to set up the table, what you should be doing in a table match, all that, so that she was fully prepared for it. And
Even though
only
he had his own match too.
he had his own match to prepare for, but he stayed with her and took the time to make sure that she was ready for it. And it's stories like that where it's kind of you know, I don't know why I forget what the word is at the moment, but yin and yang, like it hurts to hear that because you want him to be doing that to this generation.
Yeah.
But you're happy to hear that because it just makes, it straightens that image in
Mm-hmm.
your mind of how great of not only a wrestler or what superstar, but a human he was. And that's all you want at the end of the day as a wrestling fan. As a
Yeah.
person, really.
Yeah, so I thought that was nice and I felt for her because then there was the videos of Seth from this weekend at the live shows and he broke down in the ring as well. And I think that it was nice that they still did the tribute on Raw
Yeah.
because you know the people that were on Raw, they didn't have the opportunity to be there for the tribute show on SmackDown and they're still grieving.
Yeah.
So I feel for them because I can't imagine how difficult it is for them to just have to like carry on with business and you know despite having
Absolutely.
all of this. So but what I did think about also, because people have been talking about, and I think it would be amazing that they should put Bray Wyatt into the Hall of Fame in 2024.
Oh, we would be there.
I know, and oh my god. Well, I don't know if are we going to the Hall of Fame?
I'm going to fucking everything.
Okay.
I don't like it is what I mean. Like the savings start now. Like I am balling
Well,
the fuck out.
regardless, they introduced the Hall of Famers at Mania. Oh my god, that's going to be like
Oh my
heartbreaking because
god.
when they do it
The
for
fucking
Bray,
they can see the
I
fucking
know.
fireflies. Oh my
I
god.
know.
Oh my.
But I
Oh
do think
god.
overall that it would be a really cool thing to do because he did have a Hall of Fame career,
Oh,
you know?
easily had a Hall of
So,
Fame career.
and they should do it. And I hate to use this as an example, but you put the Bella twins in like immediately after they retired. So it's like you need to do that for Bray because, like,
I mean, let's be real. Sonny is in the Hall of Fame. Okay.
yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that, yeah, this would be like,
Jimmy Snuka is in the Hall of Fame.
well,
Okay.
that, let's not, I don't want to talk about all these controversial
I'm just
things.
saying, if you're gonna put those people in the con, this is not MLB in the steroid era.
I
We
know.
we can be a little bit more lenient here.
So DJ Zombies G, first of all, welcome to the stream. Have not seen you comment before, so thank you. So he says the falls count anywhere matches are so overrated. The random pins outside of the ring and the Becky match felt super awkward. Falls count anywhere matches is so early 2000s. I understood why they did it,
late.
but I agree. I didn't like how this one worked. I thought the match was great, as I think Pog said, yeah, it was like one of Zoe's best matches on the main roster.
Hands down.
But yeah, I think that it felt more like a no DQ, as I said. It didn't feel like a falls count anywhere until the end when she pinned her outside the ring. Otherwise, the first 20 minutes of the match was inside the ring or like right outside of it. So it felt kind of pointless. But anyway, for you guys that are still here, please let us know whether you comment now or you comment on the video afterwards, whatever you want to do. If you want us to do a watch along for Payback on Saturday, I meant to say it earlier, but I totally forgot. So we had one person ask me when I was doing a Patriot stream yesterday if we were going to, and they would like us to, but obviously that's one person. If more of you would like to watch along with us and just see our reactions and our live commentary, on the show, then let us know and we will consider it. Otherwise, if not, I guess we'll just maybe go live afterwards if we
You go
feel the
live
need to.
after it.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
And don't forget the prediction and preview show will be tomorrow instead of Thursday.
Tomorrow, yeah. It's you know what, that was it was I like the prediction shows. Gets me a little bit more excited for the pay-per-views, which I'm not all that enthused about the card, more enthused about certain matches, but that's why you got to tune in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Find out which matches.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So I'm excited. I totally forgot about it too. I was like, oh, we should do that. And then I was like, wait, I had scheduled it for Thursday and I was like, no, we can't. That's why I wanted to double check with you. I was like, is Wednesday okay? Because
Yeah.
I originally did it for Thursday and I was like, I can't do Thursday.
No.
It's too much for me to try and do in one night,
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree there. And let us know, comment down below what your favorite match is. If you want to see us do a live stream, I'll be here anyways. So
Pog
let us
says,
know.
watch along
For the win. So yeah. And where's that watch along going to be? It's going to be on Sara's YouTube channel, Sara Marshall XO. Go hit that subscribe button, bell notification to know when we go live tomorrow, and even on Saturday potentially for the watch along. But more importantly, definitely the reactions after the show.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you do that to get notified and subscribe, and then go check out the videos that we have in the archives. Okay, if you don't have an hour and 6 minutes and 42 seconds to sit here and recap Raw with us, it's okay. We have all the segments pretty much chopped up into nice little videos for you guys to check out and leave comments there what your thoughts are on it. And then for the other social media platforms that we're on, because we're on a lot of them, you got to go in the description below. I'm just not. All right. It's been a long day. We've already talked for so long. Go check it out in the link below. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We're all there. So definitely go check us out there. Give us a follow because God knows we need it. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. And remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We will see you tomorrow. Yeah.